Now, Justice Thomas didn't just concur with the opinion, he opened up a very interesting point, one I've been pointing out for years. I agree with the court that 922G3 violates the Second Amendment as applied to respondent Ali Hermani, and I join in its opinion in full. I write separately to call attention to another issue. As a matter of both original meaning and this court's precedent, 922G3 appears to exceed Congress's enumerated power to regulate interstate commerce. See, Commerce assumes so many of its regulatory powers from an abuse of the Commerce Clause, which states that Congress has the power to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and with the Indian tribe. Now, as Justice Thomas points out, the statute makes it a federal crime for unlawful drug users to possess any firearm or ammunition in or affecting commerce. Now, under the prevailing interpretation of 922G3, the government can secure a conviction for unlawful firearm possession if the firearm possessed by the drug user had previously traveled in interstate commerce. This is based on United States v. Rawls. The Commerce Clause does not authorize Congress to regulate or ban possession of any item that has ever been offered for sale or cross state lines. Such an understanding would convert congressional authority under the Commerce Clause to a general police power of the sort retained by the states. So while the issue was not presented in this case, the court and lower courts should revisit the constitutionality of 922G. This should be a mic drop moment. The Constitution does not authorize Congress to regulate anything that has ever crossed state lines, only to regulate interstate and foreign commerce. Yes, courts should consider the constitutionality of 922G. In fact, they should consider many of the laws the United States has abused the Commerce Clause in an attempt to invoke powers not delegated to it. 922G appears to exceed Congress's power under the Commerce Clause. Congress has the power to regulate commerce among the several states. Now, as a matter of both original meaning and this court's precedent, Congress lacks the power to regulate the possession of firearms solely on the ground that it crossed state lines at some point in the past. It appears that Justice Thomas is asking for lower courts to look at more than just 922G. Under our Constitution, the powers of the legislature are defined and limited, and that those limits may not be mistaken or forgotten. The Constitution is written. That's from Marbury versus Madison. It has now been 26 years since a party has received relief in this course based on a Commerce Clause challenge. Such relief has also been hard to come by in the lower courts, as the decisions concerning 922G show. This question merits a closer look in an appropriate case. I wholeheartedly agree. If federal courts or even our states applied the plain language of the Commerce Clause rather than the twisted interpretations of Congress from SCOTUS, I would guess that half of our federal agencies, along with all of their regulations, would evaporate as a puff of smoke, thus leaving the American people to live free.